Hi, I'm Jack, and I'm back, and I'm working on multiple things. This is the 3/4 scale 1957 Corvette front end. If you've been following along, it is insulating foam that is covered by slats from blinds, which is then covered by aluminized tape, which is then covered by clay, and then I tried putting plaster Paris on top of that. Well, the clay was too wet and too dry. When it dried, it cracked, so that was an issue, which is why I went ahead and put another layer of tape on top of everything. Just went ahead and left it cracked and smoothed it out as good as I could with the tape. Unfortunately, I forgot to put wax on the tape. So I'm not sure what's going to release here, if the fiberglass will let loose from the tape. I've had cases where it did and cases where it didn't. It is not going to let loose easily, I can tell you that. But there's so many interfaces. There's the foam, there's the tape, there's the clay, there's the plaster Paris, and then there's more tape. So one of these layers is going to let loose, and it doesn't really matter to me. This is a one single use plug. So if, in fact, I'm going to cut it up and try reversing the pieces to do the other side that is missing. But I'm decided to go ahead and let this sit overnight. It is cured, but again, I'm going to go ahead and let it sit overnight. I've got so many things going on that there's no rush to do this. And it's late, and I don't want to stay later. I'm getting ready to leave, but I thought I'd make this video before I left. The side ideally was supposed to be flat, but if you watched the previous video, you saw how the clay cracked and messed things up. And so rather than trying to fix that, what I'm going to do is I've got a big sheet of glass and I'm going to make a flat piece and I will splice it in somewhere there. I went ahead, I was going to skip this part, but one, it wouldn't really fit on the part, and the wheel opening needs to be definitely nailed down. It's kind of where I want it, but not exactly. So I went ahead and filled it in to where there is no wheel opening. And then when I put it on, I'll figure out exactly where I want the wheel opening. And then I will make a flat panel and graft it in, cut this out, graft that flat panel in with the correct wheel opening. So that's my plan. All right, that's all I've got for that. I've got other things going on. I'm working on the carbon fiber vents for the C2 Grand Sport. On the right side are the sheet metal vents that it came with. What I don't like about it is the fact that these slots have to be cut at the right angle and the right depth to make the vents fit. You can see it fits in each one, and it has an angle where a screw goes in. So it's really a pain to make these things. And the other issue is if you were to cut the slots at the wrong angle or the wrong depth or whatever, you just cut up your Grand Sport hood. So my plan with my, both with aluminum ones when I make them and with the carbon fiber ones, is to make a separate mounting bracket, which is there. And then the vents are separate. They mount to the bracket, and then there will be a screw or two, let's say two right there, and then two right there, where this whole bracket, vent bracket and bracket assembly bolts to the hood, because you can see how many bolts this took to get this. Every one of them takes 2 bolts per, so a lot of rigmarole to get this to work. And this is a lot simpler mounting mechanism. So what I need to do is nail down the exact location of these. I'm going to use glue, 3M black glue, and glue these in place. And I'm going to coat everything, clear coat everything. So while this looks okay with the carbon fiber, it looks really good clear coat. Actually, I put water on it too. It looks, whatever you put on there, the smoother the surface, the better the vents look. And then I do have the other vents over here. They were installed right there. And I just used hot glue for testing purposes, and I bumped it when I was moving it in and out of the car, and it knocked the vents loose. No big deal. The hot glue will be replaced with the 3M adhesive, which is right here. And what else am I working on? Oh yeah, the Mach 3 thing. Trying to get my 5-axis mill working. So I've got a lot going on. Anyway, all right, so now you're updated on the 3 projects that I've got going. Like, subscribe, hit the alert, hit the thanks if you want to donate, and if you don't like what I'm doing, you don't know Jack. Bye.